Well, I'm thinking that we are live. Happy Friday, everybody. I am glad you could be here with me today. We're going to have some fun. We're going to make something delicious, and you're going to want to do this at home. It's easy, it's quick. The only thing that takes any time is putting it in the fridge for a few hours or overnight, in which case you won't care because you'll be sleeping. So let's get busy and make some coconut chia pudding. Do you remember the old commercials for Chia Pets? Ch-ch-ch-chia. Well, I do. Maybe that's showing my age. I don't know. But, okay, so first things first. Sugar-free coconut syrup in my coffee this morning. And you are going to see that that is going to be a bit of a theme. Now, if you're using coconut, if you're buying coconut, and you are doing keto, you want unsweetened shredded coconut. Well, unsweetened shredded coconut is delicious. You can use it in a variety of things, but I'm going to show you a way to make it even more delicious. So the first thing we are going to do is take a glass jar. I don't want you soaking things in plastic jars, but if that's all you got, better that than nothing. Okay, so that is 95 grams of dried coconut, and into that 95 grams of dried coconut, we are going to add 45 milliliters of Da Vinci sugar-free coconut syrup. That is just infusing the dried coconut with some really intense coconut flavor, and it's rehydrating it so it isn't so crunchy. Okay, now take a fork and just fluff this up. This does not take very long to rehydrate, but the flavor gets better if you leave it overnight. So my suggestion to you is take this jar of coconut, put a lid on it, throw it in the fridge, leave it overnight. Okay, now once you've left it overnight, you are going to end up with this amazingly yummy jar of rehydrated coconut. Give it a shake. I know the jar changed size and shape and design. And okay, so this jar of coconut is rehydrated. And now that it's rehydrated, we are going to use some of it in our chia pudding. So first thing we are going to do, take a bowl, 250 milliliters of unsweetened almond milk. You can get unsweetened vanilla if you like, but make sure that it's unsweetened. If the carton says original, please check it, because most often if the carton says original, the original type was sweetened, so we don't want that. Okay, now 250 milliliters or 1 cup of almond milk, 250 milliliters of full fat coconut milk. It is so important that you read the labels on your coconut milk and your almond milk, because I have looked at coconut milk that is as low as 5 grams of fat per quarter cup, and that is coconut light. Now if you're using something that says light or fat free, or oops, making a little bit of noise here, if you're using something like that, you need to know that the lower the fat content, the higher the sugar content. That's just a rule. Okay, so we have 1 cup of almond milk, 250 mils each of almond milk and coconut milk. Now, before we go any further with that, we're going to turn our frying pan on, and I'm going to turn it on fairly low. It's on 2. Now this is, oh, pardon me, this is 45 grams of our soaked coconut. Okay, our rehydrated coconut. We are just going to throw this in the frying pan, because the second thing we're going to do to make this coconut flavor more intense is we are going to toast it. And toasting it makes an absolute world of difference. Okay, I have no production crew here today, so it's just all us. Now we're going to leave this pan to heat up, and you watch, this coconut is going to start browning. Now, coconut is very much like nuts. It will go from brown to burnt really quick if you're not watching it closely. So we need to watch it. Okay, now, next thing we are going to add is 50 grams of powdered erythritol. And we're just going to whisk this in here. Now, powdered erythritol is often kind of clumpy. It isn't going to make much difference in here because we're going to be whisking this enough. That is not smoke from the coconut, if you can see it. That is powdered erythritol. Okay, so we get that mixed in here, and that just looks like a soupy mess so far, but we're going to keep going. We're going to add just a pinch of Redmond's real salt, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Please make sure when you are buying vanilla that you are buying real pure vanilla. Do not buy, look for a vanilla extract, not a vanilla flavoring. That is super important. Okay, so next we have 1 tablespoon of lime juice. Now you can use fresh lime juice. Today I am using my key lime juice because I really love it. Okay, now that we have everything in there, we are going to slowly whisk in our chia seeds, and this is 60 grams of chia seeds. And it's important that we whisk these in slowly because remember we were talking the other day about that gelatinous yumminess on them. Well, when we were doing it in eggs, it was no big deal because they were getting mixed up enough that we didn't really have to worry about big clumps of anything on the bottom. But with this, if you don't whisk it in, pardon me, as you go, you are definitely risking having big clumps of chia seeds on the bottom that do not get coated in whatever liquid you're using. In this case, it's almond milk and coconut milk. Now we're watching this pan at the same time because this coconut is going to be absolutely delicious as long as we don't burn it. Now, you won't be able to see this, but I can feel the difference in the density of this already because these chia seeds are already starting to swell up. Now, you need to leave these chia seeds in here for at least half an hour. But if you're serving this to someone else, there we go. You want to leave it 2 or 3 hours before you serve it. That just is kind of a rule. Okay, now we're going to set that there. And we are going to turn our attention to our coconut. Now this coconut has been soaked in Da Vinci sugar-free coconut syrup. Now, when you put it in the frying pan, you're definitely drying it out again a little bit, but you're also kind of crystallizing some of the sweet yumminess. Now, I wish I could have a chat with Da Vinci and have them sweeten with erythritol rather than sucralose, but so far they haven't asked me what I think. So we're going to have a chat about artificial sweeteners. So, are artificial sweeteners good for you? No, if you can find a different option that doesn't involve an artificial sweetener, please do. But for me, artificial sweeteners have been a saving grace because when I use an artificial sweetener, it satisfies that sweet tooth and I don't have to worry about it raising my blood sugar. So these are a wonderful way to deal with carb addiction, and it isn't something that you should be using a lot of, but it is something that you can use to help you battle that carb addiction. So when you put your 95 grams of dried coconut and your 45 milliliters of coconut syrup in here, you can put this in the fridge and keep it for 2-3 weeks. So it keeps really well. And that coconut syrup in your coffee is wonderful. This is just like a little taste of summer all over again now that we're getting into fall and the temperatures are getting colder and I don't like it. I keep telling people I am a certified winter wimp. And the fact that I was raised in Canada does not mean that I like beer, hockey, snow skiing, or snowboarding. Those are not requirements to be a Canadian. I know lots of people that do. I am not one of those people. Okay, really watching this coconut. Now, since I can pay a little more attention, I'm going to turn it up to 3. Now, it's starting to brown, so this is going to go really quickly now. Now, you'll notice when you put that coconut into the jar, within half an hour, maybe, the liquid will be absorbed in, but it really does take overnight to get the flavors developed from it. So, you want to, whoops, oh yeah, we'll just spray the coconut all over the place. You really do want to just stick it in the fridge, let it sit overnight, and let those flavors get to know each other again. Coconut flavor and dried coconut. Okay. Now, the darker this is, as long as it's not black, the better it tastes. That toasted coconut flavoring is amazing. It is one of my favorites. There used to be, I don't know if there still is or not, there used to be a brand of coconut water that was toasted coconut, and it was absolutely delicious. Sadly, it was also full of sugar. So that is not something that I have anymore, but this is going to make our coconut chia pudding absolutely delicious. What was the name of that song? You put a lime in the coconut? I don't know. I don't remember, but we have Nellie's lime juice in there. Now look at how brown this is getting and how quickly it's getting there. You really have to keep stirring this. Pay close attention to it. Now you can put this in the oven as well under the broiler. I don't really like to do that so much because it is really easy to burn it if you do that. Okay. It's not difficult to burn it here either. So what are your favorite dishes that involve coconut? Coconut curried shrimp, coconut cream pie. What do you like that has coconut in it? Now, if you're here live, that's awesome. If you are watching a replay, that is awesome too. Feel free to send a link to this video to any of your friends or family that you think might benefit from having a delicious recipe, firstly, but also something that is low carb. Okay, now this is starting to get pretty brown, and I don't want any of it to get too black, so we are just going to call this good. Okay, we're going to turn that off. Now, when you turn the pan off, the burner instantly cools down, but the pan doesn't, so we can make use of that residual heat in the pan to keep toasting this coconut a little further. Okay, now let's take a look at this. It is thickening up already. 60 grams of chia seed becomes very voluminous. Is that the right word? Okay, well, we're going to use it anyway. That is the word of the day. Okay, now we are going to take, you know what? We are going to take just a wee little bit of this toasted coconut, and we're going to set it aside in a bowl. Now the rest of this we are going to put in this coconut pudding. Now this pudding not only has coconut and chia in it that taste delicious, but they're also going to give you a little bit of extra fiber. They're going to give you some extra nutrition. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to mix this in, and you can I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I can hear it. The coconut kind of sizzled a little bit. And if you pay attention in the pan, you'll see that there's a little bit of oil in it. Even though this coconut is dried, it still has coconut oil in it. Okay, now this definitely is getting a little bit chunkier, but it is a long way from being done. So this needs to go in the fridge, and it needs to sit for a minimum of 2 to 3 hours. After it has sat for that minimum of 2 to 3 hours, you are going to have this beautiful, beautiful pudding that you can serve to your guests, to yourself, to whoever you like. And this does not need to be a big helping because this is incredibly filling. So about half a cup. Now this is something that you're going to have after a meal. So it's not something that you're going to need a lot of. And on top of that, see if I can shake this enough that it's going to be nice thick whipped cream for me. Okay. On top of this, we're going to put a good sized dollop of whipped cream. And on top of that, we're going to add a little bit of our toasted coconut. And there you have a beautiful and delicious and really easy dessert that you can serve to anyone who's at your house. And if there's no one at your house but you, then enjoy it by yourself because you're important too. Okay, so this one is ready to go. This is going to be put in the fridge. Now, should we do a taste test on this? I'm thinking that we should. Now, I have a question for you. Are you taking medications for chronic illnesses right now? And if you are, have you talked to your doctor about the benefits of adopting a ketogenic lifestyle? Now, I've said this here before, and I'm going to say it again, but the fact that Del and I have adopted a ketogenic lifestyle has lowered his blood pressure, reversed his heart disease, reversed my type 2 diabetes, helped me lose 160 pounds, and here we are. So, you know, this is something that you can use to help improve your health. I am not promising you miracles. I'm not promising that absolutely everybody who adopts the keto lifestyle is going to completely reverse everything that they have. But the research that is being done, and there is a lot of it being done, is showing that people who eat low carb, who live a low carb lifestyle and get away from the processed food, have reversed early onset Alzheimer's. They have reversed a lot of chronic diseases. So if you are at the point in your life where you're saying, well, it's just part of getting older, the aches and the pains and the... Nope, it really isn't. It really isn't. It is a choice that only you can make. So it's up to you to make the choice. And right now, my choice is to eat this delicious coconut chia pudding. This is not something that you have to skimp on. It's not something that you have to save for a special occasion. This is something that you can incorporate into your low carb lifestyle. In this, itchy nose. In this bowl, there is less than 2 grams of net carbs. So save that much out of your carb budget when you're eating your meal, and you can have the toasted coconut chia pudding. Now I want to show you something. Now I've showed you before the coconut milk that I use, this is the, see if I can, Sunco unsweetened shredded coconut. Now this is a 5-pound bag, which I know sounds excessive, but this unsweetened coconut in 2 tablespoons, 15 grams, has 10 grams of fat and only 1 net gram of carbs. That's pretty low carb. You can use that for a lot of stuff. And you can buy this great big ginormous bag for, I don't know, $15 or something at Costco. And it's organic. And the chia seeds are organic, as is the coconut milk and the almond milk. If you watch, you can find things that are inexpensive and organic. So pay attention the next time you go to Costco. Pay attention the next time you go to your local grocery and watch for things that are low carb, organic, sugar-free, grain-free, gluten-free, all of the above. And if you are going to be attending Christmas markets in the central Alberta area, you're going to want to watch for me with TSL Organics, because I will definitely be there. And we can talk about keto, and we can talk about organic food, and we can certainly discuss whether your toasted coconut chia pudding was as good as mine is. Take the time to make something like this for yourself. Take the time to make yourself a treat. You can add a little more or a little less sweetener to it. You can add a little more or a little less lime juice to it. This is one of those desserts where it's not baked. So you can take it and make sure that you have it exactly the way you want it. So I am going to say goodbye for right now, and I will see you again on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Mountain. Don't forget, this week, if you live in Alberta, this weekend is time change. So my brain is going to think it's 9 o'clock, but it will be 10. So I will see you Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Mountain. You don't want to miss it. We're going to have some fun on Sunday morning, and we're going to do something brunchy. So let's do brunchy on Saturday morning, or on Sunday morning, from now until 10 a.m. Mountain on Sunday morning. Please do your very best to live your best version of this shining life. Reach out to someone that you love and let them know that you appreciate them and that you want to be a part of their life, even if you can't be together. And we are still under restrictions in Alberta, so sometimes that's the only way that you can get together, is in a video chat or a phone call. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't reach out to people. If you can't do it in person, do it however you can. Make sure that they know that they're loved. I will see you Sunday morning, and I am looking forward to it. Thank you for joining me. Have a great day.